Well, if they're not going away and if Beijing is not backing down, then what next? Joining me now, Kelly Yang, the columnist for the South China Morning Post, and Emily Lau, a very familiar face amongst Hong Kong Democrats who has been campaigning on this cause for many years. Emily, my question then is Beijing listening to any of this? Is it
Well,
noticing?
I should hope so. They better do. October 1st is National Day, so it's a big deal. And many people are going to rush into Bohemia Square, where there will be the flag-raising ceremony. And many more people, as you can see, are congregating. And so the people want to turn out in big force to tell Beijing, we want democracy. And now I can understand that many governments over the world are speaking out, including Cameron, which is a bit late. But still, so I hope Beijing will listen. And many journalists, foreign journalists, have been asking me, are we going to see another Tiananmen massacre? I said, no way. We will not allow that to happen.
But Kelly, you don't think this is good?
I think that the cause is very, very good, and I definitely support, democracy, and I support, universal suffrage. I think that the method of, causing this much disruption, especially in a place like Hong Kong, which is heavily dependent on the economy, markets. I mean, this is the value of Hong Kong.
So how would you do it then?
I think, really, I think one of the things that we need to think about appealing to are business leaders, because Hong Kong is a place that's valuable to China because of the economy.
Is there anything in that, Emily Lau? They would listen to business leaders.
I have been talking to business and political leaders in the Beijing camp, saying, come on, you speak out. You see there's a lot at stake. Your pocketbook is at stake. So speak out, tell Beijing that if you trust the Hong Kong people, allow us to have an election in which the voters can have genuine choice. The sky is not going to collapse. The Hong Kong people will choose someone that can work with Beijing and can defend our interests.
I mean, doesn't it worry you even to be thinking in those terms that you need business leaders to sort this out instead of the voices on the streets? This is about democracy, isn't it? This is about a vote.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, I think that there's other ways for people to voice their opinions. I think that when you cause disruption, you have to think about whether it's going to work and it's going to be effective.
And you don't think this is working?
But this is how Hong Kong worked for decades, even under British rule. They only listened to the rich. And now Beijing, whenever they want to hear the views of Hong Kong, they summon a few dozen richest tycoons, and that's it. So this is a tragedy. And of course, the British never help us to have democracy. And so, okay, listen to the Beijing elites, the pro-Beijing business people. But these people should stand out now, because I think they don't want Hong Kong to descend into chaos either.
Where do you think this is going?
Well, I think if you're dealing with a superpower like China, which is not going to back down, and you have this kind of aggressive protest.
You call it a superpower, but it is their own government. It is your own government, ultimately.
Right. And I mean, think about the President Xi Jinping. He's not going to back down. There's no way.
How do you know, Kelly?
Because there will be chaos in China.
Realistically, do you think there's a chance?
I don't think if Beijing respect the wishes of the Hong Kong people, then there would be chaos in mainland China. Please don't say all that.
I mean, I think that
and we cannot assume that Beijing will never back down.
Right,
it's difficult, but it's not impossible.
Have you ever seen an example of Beijing backing down?
In 2010, when we were also talking about political reform, my party proposed some amendment. Beijing said no, the whole thing is set, seal, and done. And a week later, Beijing changed its mind.
So there you go. Maybe there is method in this.
Maybe, but I mean, you have to see how effective this protest is going to be. If it's not big enough, then you're really hurting the little business owners. And that directly hurts the Hong Kong economy. Because the big guys are going to survive this. The big guys, the fancy shops, the Chanels, the banks, they all have contingency plans. It's the little business owners that are, maybe some of them aren't going to make it. And if it gets too big, then you might also have another problem on your hands.
Okay.
So it's hard to sort of balance.
Kelly Yang and Emily Lau, thank you both very much indeed. And we'll be here watching the protests tomorrow. But we leave you tonight with some of the faces and the images of what they are now calling the Umbrella Revolution from wherever you are in Hong Kong City. Good night.